Hello, I'm Wendy, and this is Summer Bay Studio. In a previous video, I showed you how to make a little glue book out of a magazine, and this is one of the ones that I made. Here's the other half of the magazine, which I'm not going to be working in today. And this one I put this cover on with some paper, a paper set from Michaels, which is called Key West. And it's a block of, it's actually quite heavy paper. It's 24 designs. And I love the designs and the motifs, so I decided for this book that I would use this color family. So I've chosen a color theme, and as you can see, there's lots of colors in this, but they're all they all have a similarity, and that's that they are bright, they're tropical. This would be kind of the main one. So these colors, the yellow, the pink, white, and this green, and this indigo kind of blue or turquoisey blue, appear in lots of different things. Now we have a few other ones like orange and this kind of yellowy orange and gold, but basically I'm using this kind of color palette. The pack came with a page of these little 3x3 squares, so I cut them all apart so that I can use them as pieces. I kind of wish they weren't quite as heavy paper, but that's not a problem. We can work with them, because the thing about a glue book is it's going to come out heavy anyway. So in my book here, I didn't even count the pages, it doesn't matter, but I did make one change. It had a staple binding, and I changed that into this binding with a little stretchy gold string. And the reason I chose gold, of course, is because gold was one of the colors in this color palette. It shows up in like these stars and that sort of thing. And I thought that would work well. There's gold around here as well. And then I went through some of my other pieces of papers that I have and just pulled out some others that have the same sort of color themes or topics or whatever. And these also are sort of a light cardstock, but that's all fine. So what I'm going to do with this book, I think, is start at the front, then the back, then the next page in, then the next page in. That way I fill it up from the outsides in rather than from one side to the next. Now you can do it either way, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to start right here. And with this one, I actually did glue this down, but it didn't, not very far. So I'm going to just add a little bit more glue on here so that we don't have this flapping edge. That. And my plan with this book is to make it mixed media. And with that in mind, I've pulled out some paints also that go with the color theme. So where's my main one? Here's my main color theme picture. So I've got an array of greens. I've got gold. I've got pink and turquoise and some deeper blues. So you can see when I sort of hold this up that all these colors work in one way or another. And I'm going to be, like I said, doing sort of a mixed media, and these are the colors that I'm going to use. Now, these are artist paints, but you don't have to use those. You can use crafting paints like these. They're just fine. What I have is a whole drawer full of paints like this that have been around for kind of a long time. These ones are fresher and in better shape, and I bought them more recently, so I'm going to be using those. And because this is small, I'm going to also try not to have too much paint on. But this is going to be a collage, glue book, mixed media, art journal, all combined. So let's begin first by just moving these out of the way. The first thing I wanted to do, though, was because I took this staple out of here, it left kind of a mess. And I'm just going to put some washi tape over it just to kind of smooth it out a little bit. And I found this one in my collection, which I think goes pretty well. The colors aren't exactly right, but they're pretty darn close. There, so that's that. And it just kind of, there is a kind of a ripple in the paper here, but now you hardly notice it, right? And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down this page. so that it's just one piece rather than two. And the reason for that is it just makes it firmer. So really, when we're finished a book like this, it's almost like a board book. Now, I've mentioned this before in my other videos that whenever you add moisture to paper, it's going to buckle. So, and even a glue like this, which seems fairly dry, has lots of moisture in it. I'm going to start by decorating this page. And I'm tempted to use this bird, except that this already shows. So let's try something different. What I want to do is if I see colors that kind of go with, I might let them show, but I might not, you know, like this one here. And I would prefer not to have square edges, but I also don't want to lose some of the design. I think I'll just tear off a corner here, provided I can tear it. Now you can use a different kind of glue if you want to. The other thing you can use is matte medium, acrylic medium, and I'm going to be using that a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to put some of these pieces down. Now, I think the backdrop with this glue is that it's so stiff, oops, that it's hard to spread all over, so then you get bare spots. But right at this point, it's not a problem. So I'm going to be collaging first, and then I'm going to be adding paint. I've run into a little issue already here, which is stiff paper and glue not to the edge, okay? So I'm going to pull that back a little bit, and I'm going to hopefully get some glue underneath that edge. There, that works. Okay, let's see what else I can find here. What would make a nice little piece in the corner here? This one with the chairs is kind of fun. That would do nicely. So it's going to be a very bright book, and you can see by some of these other pieces. I think I'm going to start by putting some matte medium down, because sometimes it works better. This is matte gel, and it's clear. So one thing it does is stiffen the pages. Just put a little bit on the back here, and then put it on the page itself. And this is where I need to have something under it, so it doesn't get everywhere, basically. I'm going to put this under it. I might use parchment paper after. But you can see that almost immediately it makes the paper pucker. But I'm okay with that. Sometimes you need to use your fingers just to be able to feel things, because like you can feel bubbles with your fingers, and you can feel edges that aren't down. All right, I'm just going to leave that little bit for now and go hunting for some more things. So, and by things, I mean ephemera pieces. So, keeping with my theme, and that it's tropical. I know you can't really see this, can you? Okay, let's put this up where you can see it. Let's see. Here's some pink and some green. So let's get them out. There's also some things in here. Lots of roses and sort of traditional flowers, but I'm trying to keep it a bit tropical, as I mentioned. Oh, here's something we can use. Pineapple. That would work. Here's something green. Apple. And some more green things. All right, I think I'll just leave that right now. Okay, so if I find something for this page, what I want to do is, of course, cover up Kathy Lee's face. Not that I have anything against her, I do not. But she's not supposed to be the focus of the work. So this can go here. I love these lemons. Okay, that can go there. I might use a little bit more over here. Yeah, let's do some here. And then, let's see, I want something here. These are also available on my website in the shop. Happy, healthy, and wise. Don't wait, appreciate. These are health related, but I kind of like that one. What's this one say? Healthy is the new sexy. Okay, whatever. I think that's as much a message as I want in this collection. Okay, well, let's put this down first. Kind of, at this point, I'm just covering up the background because I don't really want it there. So just have to get some moisture out of my brush now. I have to pop it in the water right away, because if I don't, acrylic hardens quite quickly, it dries quickly. And then my brushes will just stiffen up to nothing, to a wedge rather than a brush. That's nice. I think I'll go with the bird. And just for fun, I'm going to decal the edges. Let's do the zigzaggy one. There, I like that. These might even be useful. I don't know, I'll wait and see. Okay. Put some of this stuff on the back and on the page. And it's Goodbye, Kathy Lee. I saw a movie with her recently with Craig Ferguson on Netflix about a castle. She goes to Scotland because her husband has died, and she goes to Scotland and stays at this castle that's just barely making it, you know. It was hilarious. I loved that movie. Now this dries clear, so not to worry about that. Let's see if this pineapple works in here. It does actually. It's just enough to cover up the words, and the fact that there's a little bit of the background showing there is not a problem. Now let's put this down. And it's actually not necessary to cover up the entire thing with other papers. If you want something to show, that's okay too. I need this to go off the edge. And I need this to be in between it and the next page. And then this can go here. And you might as well get used to the idea that your pages are going to curl, because that's just what they do when they're wet. All right, clean off the fingers here. I want a little something to cover up this. Yeah, this will work. Happy, healthy, and wise. So let's get this going. There's that one. Oh, this is perfect, isn't it? I have a lot of ephemera that's sort of more Victorian vintage kind of stuff. Not very much that's really tropical, unfortunately. Even though tropical colors are some of my favorite colors. That's from the south of France. That's a little watercolor I did. That one actually kind of works. Those ones do too. All right, let's see. I just want to put something in here. All right. I need to get out the butterflies too. Now, some of these are plastic, so that's not going to work at all. That works. That's one of my watercolors. It works. All right, we just need a little piece for this corner. I think that might be citrus overkill. Or you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to first put some paint on it. And so I'm putting the gesso away. Cover it up, don't forget, because it'll dry too quickly. And the trick with this is how to keep it from using too much, because as soon as you open it and squirt a little bit out, you've got enough to do half of the painting. Try that and see if I can keep it from being too much. Great color, hey? Love this yellow green. This girl's face is going to get covered up with something. Okay, let's add another color. It's pink. All right, I'm going to dry this with my Conair heat gun, which is a hair curler with the things that taken off. It's pretty dry. I noticed this lifted up a little bit here. So I'm going to just put a little bit more matte medium in there, because this edge must not have been down very solidly, because it's easy to lift up now. It's not a good thing. It's also partly because of the curling of the paper that it contracts and then it has to pull away and go somewhere, so that should fix it. And now I want to do one more thing. As you can see, my goal is to keep it bright and tropical. And I want to do one more thing, well, more than one thing. I want to do some stenciling, and I have this stencil, and I've got gold paint. So obviously I'm not using all the colors that I pulled out in this one page layout, because we've got a whole book. I'm going to use one of these little brushes. It says not for use with lacquer or shellac. Okay, I get it, because it probably eats the foam. I just dipped it in water and squeezed it out with the towel. So a tiny bit of gold, because I don't know how much I'm going to want to have in here. First you want to just look at it, see how it works, see how it looks, and I want to put some gold right here. So stenciling either works great or kind of doesn't. And I know that's not very certain, but different techniques work in different ways, and sometimes you try something and it's like, ugh, that didn't work. Like I've done watercolor with stencils and it doesn't work that great because the watercolor seeps under the edges. And if you get watercolors too dry, then they don't show up. The dry brush is just way too dry. All right, let's see. Perfect, that's exactly what I wanted. Now I want another one. That's still kind of wet. So, and we've got this gold tropical vibe here. I think I want it in here. Let's see. Let's just do it like that, using the same one. Yeah, that one isn't quite as opaque, but I like it just as well. It's a really nice addition. And now I want to, how about I do one up here? I do need some more paint. And taking it little bits at a time is a very good idea. That works, and I feel like I want to cover this face up before I do any more of this. So she's right down there in the corner. I know, I'm going to cut this to fit in the corner. Like that. Okay. Okay, we got it. All right, we need a bit of matte medium again, and then put this down right in the corner so we don't need to see her teeth, because that would be a little bit frightening. That works. All right, let's see. I like that. Now we've got these. I can put this somewhere here. I like that. It works together. Now, I also want to add, let me see. I got to get stuff off my fingers. I'm going to put, let me get a brush here. You could just actually keep going forever, but you have to ask yourself, is that a good idea? Is it necessary? You know what I mean? Wait, I want that right to the edge there. I don't want the back of my stencil to get unnecessarily grubby. So I'm going to pick this up and just make another stencil here in gold along this side. Perfect. I kind of feel like I want some more over here, which would mean I need a little bit more paint. At least I don't feel like I'm wasting my paint, because sometimes I put down a big blob and then I end up with way too much left over, and you know, you basically waste it. There. Okay. I think as a final touch, I might add a butterfly that doesn't have paint on it. And I think I like it up here better. And am I going to put it down with gesso? This guy's feelers are kind of... No, I'm going to glue it down. So I can take this out of here. See how the moisture just makes it stick. Just move that to the side and get it good and glued right to the edges here, which means you have to glue right off the edges. See? And now I'm going to put it right in there. There. So now you can see this is obviously not dry, it's still quite wet, but the page is going to be stiff, and because this is doubled, and then when I do these pages, same again, the binding isn't great on this because it didn't really line up all that well, but I don't think it's going to matter very much. We'll just work with what we've got. This is pretty fun, I think. Well, there's one more thing I'd like to do, and that is add a bit of black. Just going to put a bit of black on these to make them stand out a bit more. Just here and there. Don't need to do the whole thing, but you certainly could if you wanted to. I think I'll do a little bit on this guy too, just for fun. Let's give him a nice little outline. Okay, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so you can get notified when I have new videos. And also, I would love it if you'd leave a comment and click the like button, because that tells other people that lots of people like this work. And I'll see you next time.